pharaonic plan to trick you out there in those streets. And this is let me share something with you. The only retirement plan that the street offer you, if you don't die out there, you'll go back to the penitentiary. That's the only retirement plan. Because while you are in there, and I'll tell you about a brother by the name of Abdul-Ali, he had 50 straight years, came home and never got out the hospital, died in the hospital. Look, man, know what I'm talking about. I said this brother did 50 straight years, they paroled him to what's that, Greater Community Southeast Hospital. What's the name of that now?
UMA.
UMA. They paroled him to the hospital, and he never got out of the hospital. He died in the hospital after doing 50 years. Because, and listen to this, you get a case when you're 20 years old, and they give you 100 years. When you do, let's say, you can give you a break. You do 30 more of those years. Okay, you 50 years old now, right? And you think you're going to come home, you had 100 years. How many more years you got left? You had 100, you caught the case when you was 20, you did 30, now you 50, so you still owe 70 years to the table. And they're not going to release you. When you get old, antique, and decrepit, they're going to put you in the penitentiary that they have for old people. They call them federal hospitals. That's where you're going to go at. You're not coming home when you get that 50 years. I mean, when you still have that 70 years left. And see, the sad part about it is, see, this is what these guys in the street don't tell y'all about. They tell y'all that going to jail, man, it's fun. I had fun. I did this, I had that, and I did this. Man, it's fun when you 15, 16, 17. But when you're not going home and now you 50 years old, you realize you don't have no children. You realize you don't have no money in the bank. You don't have no house, no car. You don't have nothing in that cell that you in. And you got somebody else living in that cell with you. See, this is the part of that game that they don't tell you about. But this is what we want to tell you about today. We want to wake you up. Why is it so important that they take the young black males out of circulation? The fastest growing religion among young black males in prison, but in the street also, is what? It's Islam. What is it that they know about Islam that they don't want you to find out about? Think about that now. There's ayat in the Quran where someone is making a dua. Oh God, please help us. Please send somebody that's going to stop these people from oppressing us. Please send us some help. Please send us somebody that's going to guide us and show us the right way. That's ayat in the Quran. Remember that? Who is Allah going to send? Bearing in mind that Islam is the wave of the future. Regardless of what they say, we have prophetic hadith. Sahih Muslim, Sahih Bukhari, almost all of the Sahih Center that you pick up, they describe hadith that tells us about the later days. In one of those books, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is recorded to have said, "There's no Nabi after me. There's no Ummah after my Ummah." What did that mean? No more prophets coming. No more messengers coming. Only the Ummah of Muhammad. Who makes up the Ummah of Muhammad? A human being. The prophetic message or the prophetic responsibility has no expiration date on it. Even when Yama al-Qiyamah come, we will still be operating off of the prophetic message of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he has described everything that is going to happen. Everything that is going to happen. We will still be operating off of the prophetic message of Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now let's come back to dealing with the young brothers. There's something in Quran that I want to share with us. And this we're reading from Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah 2, Ayat 255. Yeah, Ayat 2, 151. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Walawla daf'ullahi nasa ba'adahum bibadilla fasadatil ardu. Walakinna Allah thul fadlin alal alamin. What this ayat is describing to us is that had not Allah checked one set of people by means of another, the earth would indeed be full of corruption. But Allah is full of bounty to all the worlds. What group of people is it that Allah is going to use to check the other group of people? To keep the corruption from being on the planet. The facade, corruption, evil, wickedness. Who is Allah going to send to deal with that? Islam is the wave of the future now. And the world that you are living in right now is not the world that you're going to be an adult in. That's why I always tell you, you got to get 2-3 years ahead of what's going on now. So by the time they catch up with you, you'll be outstepping them again. You can't dwell where you at right now without living for the future. Now, Imam Qurtubi, in his tafsir of the Quran, he gives us some tafsir on this. He said, in Imam Qurtubi's tafsir to this verse, he mentions a narration from Abu Darda that states, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought the institution of prophethood to an end, he replaced them with men from the community of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Who are those men from the community of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Who are they? You know, I was talking to the brother. Matter of fact, this was yesterday. Because, you know, we have just like we have the program for the young men today, we have a program for the young sisters on the 11th of this month. We do a program for the brothers. We do a program for the sisters. So in the sisters class, where we're trying to get to, we want to have sewing machines. We want to have, we're going to get that stove hooked up. The brother came to hook it up, and I had to run out. I had an incident with my family. That's why the stove is not hooked up. It's on me. I had to go. I couldn't stay. We're going to get that. We're going to have cooking classes up there. And we're going to have motherhood classes up there. We're going to have classes on how to become a good wife up there. And we're going to have parenting classes up there. And he said, it sounds like, man, y'all going to have the perfect sister over here. I say, yeah, but we're going to have the perfect brother too. So what you going to do? You know? So this is where we're trying to go. We are trying to build the human being, the Muslim, and prepare them today to live in a world 20 years from now. That's what we want them. As the world progresses, the world will catch up to them. Not them try to keep in line with the world and move at a snail's pace. See that? See, the Quran and the Sunnah, it's like Brother Naeem was saying. When you start going in that Quran and in that Sunnah and you stand up late at night and you praying and you doing everything that you should do, a new world opens up in your mind. You don't live on the same level of the brother that's just praying 5 times a day and he read the Quran maybe once or twice a month. Though he's Muslim, on the same level with you, but you are far advanced than him in his actions and his deeds. Not equal are those that sit at home and those that march out and go forward. In fact, we have reports that when the companions at home would have a problem and an issue that they couldn't understand, they would send it to the war front to get the answer, because those brothers were operating on a different level. And so this is what we invite y'all to. You know, the first Sunday of every month, we out there on that corner, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X Avenue. We got a hot meal that's out there. We got clothes that's out there. We got canned goods, dry goods that's out there. But most important, we have the Muslims that's out there. We went to one program, right? And a young sister, and I had told her, I said, everywhere I go, I found we giving out cases and cases of Qur'ans. And we went to a program, and the sister gave out 2 cases of Qur'ans just sitting at a table like this. And she said, I only got 3 left. I said, we not finished yet. And before we got finished, the other 3 left. And that young sister upstairs right now. People are curious about this Islam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Islam, matter of fact, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed me the earth, and I looked at the east and the west. The dominion of my ummah will reach everywhere I was shown. That's in Sahih Muslim. Who are the responsible people at the time that we're living in today? You think that ayat talking about them 1400 years ago? No expiration on this hadith right here. It's talking about y'all. Inshallah, we're going to get to that. There's another one. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this affair will reach what is reached by the night and the day, and Allah will not leave any dwelling, brick nor fur, except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cause this deen to enter into it, bringing honor or humiliation. Honor, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to Islam, and humiliation, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to Kufr. Islam is going to go there. Think about this. With everything that's happening in the so-called Middle East, and I'm saying that for the sake of understanding. Everything that's happening in the Middle East is on the news. Abdullah, Muhammad, Abdul Karim, Abdul Razak, Shahida, Rashida, Karima, all across the news. You can't hardly turn the news on and not see something about Islam today. Where's that news being broadcast at? In the houses of the people. Isn't that what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said? When we was out there, anybody know about Potomac Gardens? Potomac Gardens, okay, Potomac Gardens is a death trap. They had to make it look like a prison to protect the people in there. It's right on Pennsylvania Avenue, not far from the White House, a public housing area. It's fenced in just like a prison. Right or wrong, Luke, Mom? It's just like a prison. We go up in, they requested us to start coming in there to do Jummah prayer on the premises. That's how many Muslims in there. In the gardens. And who do you think the request came through? The request came through the police department. One of the brothers works in the police department. The lady said, man, we need some help over here with these young brothers. The young Muslims. She sent word to the brother Amin. He works there. He's a liaison between the department and the neighborhood. She sent word to him, and he sent word to me, and we had to respond. In the public housing area, in the one of the worst public housing areas in Washington, D.C., the Potomac Gardens. Everybody know about the gardens, except for maybe you young guys. They want Jumu'ah prayer in the gardens. They're going to provide a room for us to do Jumu'ah in the gardens. And we in the gardens right now, almost we was in, when the weather break, every Thursday we was in there with the free fish fry. Had a table like that full of books, pamphlets, flyers, leaflets, all gone every day. Every time we go up there, the people want to know about this Islam. I had an elderly sister. She said, "That's that Muslim Bible." I say, "That's right, that's that Muslim Bible." She say, can I have one? I say, matter of fact, yes, you can. She say, "I want one for my girlfriend too, because we always talking on the phone and we going to talk about this." I say, "Take one for your girlfriend. Now, do you have another girlfriend? Because you can get 3 if you want." People are interested in this Islam. When you're driving around, think about, well, now I'm talking to us. When you're driving around D.C., you see guys with these kufis on. You see guys with these short pants. You see guys with these scarves wrapped around their neck. These guys are Muslim. I got guys standing right in front of the liquor store right across the street. I call the adhan. They, "Assalamu alaikum, Ak, what's up?" I said, "You hear me calling this prayer on? All right, Ak, I'll be over there." They not coming, but they know what's going on. And they hanging out right there every day. You know, we have to turn up what we're doing as far as our dawah is concerned. Now that we have established the fact that when Allah closed the door to prophethood, he brought it and left it up to the men in the Jamaa'ah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All right. Imam Al-Bayhaqi, he has reported Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "There's no Nabi after me, there's no Ummah after my Ummah." Nobody else coming. The only one that's going to be here is the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the men from that Jamaa'ah. Listen to this. Sufyan Athari, rahmatullah alayhi, said, "The angels are the protectors of the heavens, and the Ashabul Hadith are the protectors of the earth. The companions of the Hadith are the protectors of the earth. The angels are the protectors of the heaven." Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he created our grandfather and he presented them to the angels, he did something first. Well, he did something right after that. He taught Adam the names and the nature of all things. And then he presented it to the angels, and he said to the angels, "Now tell me about these if you know." They say, "We only know what you taught us, and we don't know anything about that." So Allah didn't give them certain knowledge, but he gave that knowledge to who? He gave it to your genetic gene pool. It's in your genetics. The same, what your ancient forefathers were back then, you are today. The same genetic makeup that Adam alayhi salam had, it's in you. Same thing, just traveling down through the years. This is why you have an aql, an intellect. But what you feed in here, and what you let other people put in here, because one of the things that Imam Naim was talking about is that pharaonic program, right? And what did they have? They had jibbed. And what is it? Shar. The magic. They had magic and they had jibbed. The jibbed is like the mass media, what they feeding into your mind. When you look at that, a lot of things that they wanted to convey to the people, they would sing it to them. That's the same thing that influenced a lot of us today. They sing stuff to us in songs, and we papping our feet, and we just rolling, and it's all good. Like one of the brothers said, he said, "Man, I found out something, man, that's really real." He said, "Man, I was in the Safeway, And I was walking, and they was playing jingle bells, jingle all the way. And he said, and I was just walking through the store, jingle bells, jingle. He said, and I had to catch myself. He said, A'udhu billah. He said, that quick, that foolishness had me into the groove with it. Now, this is the catch. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, anybody that approves of something that someone else does shares in that. So now here we go. Pistols in the air, blazing everywhere. And we, man, is that what you want in your life? Think about that. But that's what's in those rap records. And I didn't go any further because we have other people here. Now, you know, if the sisters wasn't here, I'd drop it right on you. So I can't do that because the sisters are here. But this is where we at. This is why they got to knock y'all out the box. They got to take you completely out of existence. I know a little young guy named Patrick Bowers, right? Bauer. I met him in the federal penitentiary, right? He had just turned 18. He probably caught the case when he was something like 16 because he was over there on the juvenile wing for 2 years. So that means 15, 16, 17. So he was over there when he was 16. 16, 17, 18, he come to adult penitentiary, right? How much time do you think that young brother had? That young brother had 300 years and 6 natural life sentences, and he caught it when he was like 15 or 16. Because you caught the case, you fight the case for a year, you turn 16, you get sentenced, then you get sentenced, you do a couple of years on the juvenile wing, then you come to the big penitentiary. 300 years plus 6 natural life sentences. Fortunately for him, we was able to give him a shahada because that's the only thing going to hold him up. That's the only thing that's going to hold him up. Because unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him and let him out, one day he's going to die in jail. Yeah, he's not coming home. You know how long it takes 300 years to get here? Do you know what you got to do on 6 natural life sentences? You got to live and die 6 times. One death not good enough. Okay, he didn't die, man, 3 times. He ain't finished. He got 3 more to go. And the sad part about it is that when we talk to young brothers like this, they don't pay no attention to it. And then we go over DC jail with the little dawah program that we go over there. And hey, Assalamu alaikum, you got any literature? Send home for the stuff I gave you when you was in the street that you didn't use. It's still there. It's brand new. You didn't use it then, but it's there. Ask them to mail it to you. Matter of fact, tell them to give it to me. I'll go pick it up and bring it to you next week. Because they don't pay attention. They think that, man, that's that old stuff, man, and I ain't trying to hear that. There's no shortcut to experience. The elders are important. If you don't know how they done it, then they can do it again. And that's what Imam Naeem was sharing with you about that Pharaonic program. How they trick the human being. How the shaitan tricked the human being into the same miserable plight that he is in. And this the sad part. I'm talking about this brother, he be out there with us. We experienced some of